Tweet. What's my webcam on? What the hell? Oh, well. My webcam's on. Nobody can see me, but my webcam's on. That's cool. Audio check. Audio check. Audio check.
Testing 1 2. Check 1 2.
I might be a little loud. I'm gonna turn myself down a smidge. Actually, no, I'll keep myself the same volume. I'm gonna turn you up a smidge. That'll help. Beauty.
Yeah. Test. This is always the best part of the show. Test 1 2.
This is the best part for sure. All right. It's all downhill from here, bud. All right. Well, I think we're live. I think things are happening. So let's get this week's episode started. Hello, everyone. Hi. It's us. It's welcome to another episode of All of My Tracers. Just the two of us this week, live here on YouTube. It's me. It's Tony. Figure 9. I'm here. I'm back, and I'm joined by. And I had a little write up here for Harley too. I was gonna do a whole thing, but he's not here, so I'll have to save for next week. But I'm joined by one of my very best friends on this whole goddamn planet. I got with me here Power Grudge, the Star Wars simpin', Kiss singing, Halo slaying, beer drinking, G Fuel slurping brother of mine. How you doing,
I have
man?
News for you, there, Tony. It's not Jim this week.
No, this is Patrick.
Good clip. I got inspired listening to some old wrestling promos, and that's very reminiscent of the old Ric Flair wheelin' dealin', kiss stealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun promo. So wow. I was like,
look at you.
I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do that for the boys. So I have one for Harley too, but he's not here. Harley could not make it this week for everyone watching, so hopefully Harley will be back next week. But yeah, just the two of us this week. So how you doing, man? How's the week?
I gotta say, it's been a really good week. Before I get to the gaming stuff, though, I finished that Star Wars book that we were talking about.
But hold on, before you go any further, Fox in chat says he's taking a lot of sips for those Star Wars simps. That was perfect timing. He literally just talked about a Star Wars book. Anyways, continue. But
thank you, Paper Fox. Anyway, I finished the third Alphabet Squadron book entitled Victory's Price. Phenomenal. As I said to you, it's definitely, if you're going to start anywhere with the extended universe, or the new canon, I should say, I'd start with those 3 books. They're very great. They're very well written. Alexander Freed, I believe, I don't have the book in front of me, but Alexander Freed, who wrote it, also wrote another one of my favorite Star Wars new canon books called Star Wars Battlefront Twilight Company. And I don't know, I like his writing style. He writes really great characters and motivations and fears and action. Like, I don't normally, it's kind of weird because of all the Star Wars books I've read last year specifically, I'm a bigger fan of like character stuff. And when it comes to action, sometimes I tend to get like kind of lost in it. And like, not in like a great way, because there's a lot happening.
Yeah.
Like if you watch a Star Wars movie, try like writing all of that into words. And Alexander Freed does a really good job of it. And I really liked it. And Cheap Trick, one of my favorite bands ever. Top 5 for sure. They released a new album. I don't know if I mentioned it last week, but they released a new album last week called In Another World. It's lived in my car, and I've played it around the apartment quite a bit. I'm like totally enamored how a band that far in their career on their 20th album releases stuff that's like as strong as their classic stuff, which is crazy.
That's their 20th album?
Yeah, man.
Wow.
That's
wild.
What else happened this week? Nothing else really happened this week. Work's been busy. When we get to what I've been playing, I'll describe more about something else I discovered this week. But what about you? How's your week been? I haven't really talked to you much.
Yeah, I was realizing that before the show too. I'm like, damn, we haven't really talked too much aside from just sending stupid memes each other's way and like stupid Instagram videos and stuff, which you do pretty much every day anyways. But yeah, we haven't really had a conversation this week. I've been pretty busy with work. Things are picking up, and for better or for worse. We're preparing for the inevitable. So, yeah, things have been crazy. I think some announcements are going to happen next week. I got a bad feeling about it. I don't know anything, but I got a bad feeling about it. So we'll see what happens on that front. Yeah, you know what? And to be honest, like I think it's important to say this stuff too. Like I had a pretty shitty night last night. I don't know. I was in a bad headspace. You know what I mean? Like I was just going down the news cycle of everything bad happening in Ontario right now, and Ontario is really bad for everyone watching and does not live in Ontario. We're in a bad spot COVID wise. So I was just kind of going down the rabbit hole and just getting in a shitty mood and thinking about work and all the worst case scenarios and all that stuff. So I was just not in a good mood last night, but you know, I got some sleep and I feel a lot better today. So I think you know, it's okay to have a bad day every now and then. That's no problem, but important to talk about it too. So
yeah. I kind of had like I don't know, I wouldn't call it a bad day today. Just I don't know. I tend to avoid the news now, and I kind of just go based on. I've said this before, I think off the show, but I don't like. I kind of stopped looking at our numbers and looking at numbers in general. And I just kind of go through like how my work reacts to stuff. I kind of base that on how we're doing, and I was guessing this week we weren't doing too good. So
yeah, no, honestly, that's probably the better way to do it, man. Because you can just go down the rabbit hole on numbers and vaccines, and it's just like, oh, it's too much. So. Hoping that things will get better soon. I'm confident they will. I'm optimistic. I'm usually I don't know. You know me growing up. I used to be kind of a negative person a lot, but I've really been more of a positive guy, at least the last couple of years, anyways. Aside from events here and there, so I'm trying to stay more positive about everything and just be optimistic about everything. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Fox is watching a Falling in Reverse digital concert. Oh, cool. Oh, didn't you watch a digital concert? You watched a Digital Kiss concert, didn't you, Jim?
Yeah, so New Year's Eve, Kiss did their big. It was the first time they played in, oh my god, I don't know how long, but it's the first time they were on stage in forever. And New Year's Eve, they had a big pay-per-view event. I opted out for a super, I'll admit it, a super expensive package for a digital concert, but I get a ton of shit with it, and it's supposed to ship because there's like a Blu-ray, there's a book, there's a bunch of merch, there's some other stuff too, but it ships between now and early May, so. Once that does ship, that'll come hopefully soon enough. So yeah, I'm excited for that. That's very cool. I know a lot of bands are doing the digital concert thing now. And who was it? Black Veil Brides were doing a free. I think it's free anyway. They're doing like a free series of acoustic concerts. I think they're playing at like local radio stations and all that. But
oh, cool.
Yeah, digital concerts are kind of the way to go. And I do agree, Paper Fox, don't go on news sites. I had to block myself from news sites for a while. That's crazy, man.
Yeah, it's a rabbit hole, right? And it's just a spiral, and I got caught, you know, and that's okay because feeling better today, so it's all good, you know. You're allowed to have a bad day every now and then, so that's kind of where I was at. But in terms of like, I don't know, games, like let's just get to what we're playing. I haven't really done much aside from like stream this week, where I streamed NHL 21 on Monday, started the Pittsburgh Penguins franchise, where I traded literally everybody, and just got a bunch of draft picks loaded up. And that's pretty much where we ended it. We drafted everyone and we got to the start of the next season. So on this coming Monday, we're going to continue our NHL 21 playthrough and see where we get. We made some good off-season pickups, but really, I mean, this season's a wash unless our rookies really pull through. But it looks like a couple of our rookies are starting off at a pretty high level, so like a pretty high overall anyways, which is good. So hopefully they develop quickly and maybe we'll actually make the playoffs. We'll see, but that'll be part of the journey. Doing that. No, other than that, kept playing through Halo Reach on Wednesday as well. So that was good. We just got to the point in the Halo Reach campaign, and I guess I shouldn't spoil it, but one of the Spartans dies.
I know.
After
the game's like 11 years old now. I don't know.
Yeah, you're right. You know what? Yeah, you're absolutely right. And you know what? If you know anything about Halo, and even if you don't, you kind of know the ending to Reach before it even begins, because in Halo lore, Reach gets fucking glassed to shit. So nothing lives. So Spartan George just died in our playthrough. I don't know if you remember that moment, Jim, where you're on the ship with George with the bomb, and George basically just picks you up and throws you off the ship because he has to manually activate the bomb to blow up the Covenant cruiser. And it works, of course. He blows up the cruiser, and then as soon as that happens, like 20 more Covenant ships just show right up, and it's like, oh fuck. Oh, yeah, man. Awesome moment.
That moment is like eyes clear in my head now, only because we've played Halo. I guess if we're gonna go chronological timeline wise, Halo Reach through 3 is kind of like and I'll include ODST. It's kind of like the Bible for me.
Yeah,
like I know those extremely well, and then after that, I get a little shaky, especially with 5. But
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, man, that moment is like as impactful as the very first time I played it. Every single time, because I played Reach, I think I played through it last year or late 2019. But every time I hear that's the one for some reason that one hits me the hardest out of all the deaths in the game.
Yeah, me too. That one sucks because first of all, George is a Spartan too, so he's basically Master Chief. So it sucks to see him go out that way.
Yeah.
But then also, that's his home planet. That's Reach, and he died thinking that he just saved the planet, and it meant fucking nothing. Like, that's the tragic part about it all, right? He died a hero in his mind, and as far as he knew, he was a hero, but it actually meant nothing. That's the tragic part. So, yeah, you know what? There's more deaths to come. Definitely some surprising ones, some kind of cool ones as well. I mean, cool. I don't know if you want to call it cool, but I guess cool moments, anyways, that kind of happen in the situations within the game. So, yeah, that's where we're at in Reach. We're going to continue going through our Halo campaign. So we're kind of getting our stream a bit more organized. Where Mondays, I think we're going to do NHL. Wednesdays are going to be Halo, and then Thursday is going to be like RPG day / variety day, whatever the hell we want to do. So
nice.
that's kind of what I was doing on the week. Otherwise, I didn't really play any games, and I kind of meant to, but I didn't. How about you?
I forgot to mention this in the very beginning. We were talking about how our week was. I got a new mouse, and I sent you a video and a picture, and I sent Harley the same thing. I don't even remember the name of the ROG or an Asus. Oh, it's on the bottom here. A Asus ROG Gladius 2 optical gaming mouse. I got the wired one. I didn't get wireless. I got wired. This thing is awesome. It is so cool, man. I mean, the lights are cool enough, but like in terms of like how it actually feels, it feels a lot nicer than my other mouse, because my other mouse, it was kind of like, I'm gonna say the best way to describe it, it was kind of like short and fat. Like it was nice because it sat in the palm of my hand really well. But the problem was my fingers hung over the mouse buttons way too much. Yeah. But this one is like the perfect size. Like my fingers just like go right up to the edge or even a little over, but I don't mind that at all. Like it's really nice and slender. I don't know, it's good because I have big hands, so it fits my hand really nice. And like I said, the light show is really cool too because it matches the keyboard and it's on brand. So I mean, makes sense that it would match.
Yeah, man.
And Paper Fox, make sure you do rewatch that VOD for Halo Reach, only because Halo Reach is a very good game. I mean, like I said, Halo Reach through 3 are like all like masterpieces, if you ask me.
Yeah, and include ODST in that bunch as well. It's, yeah. Anything Bungie touched was gold. So,
but anyway, so I've been I played a lot of Diablo 3 up until about Wednesday, I'd say. Then I tried to play Dragon's Dogma because I was like, you know what, I kind of want to start playing on my Xbox again because I've really just been doing PC gaming for the last little bit. And then that turned into, I played like an hour and a half of Dragon's Dogma, and then I kind of realized like, I mean, like the sour taste of Lost Planet 2 is in my mouth. Not because Lost Planet 2 is bad. It's just because we played that boss fight like a million times last weekend. And when we finally beat it, I don't know. I can remember if it was Harley or not, but somebody DC'd and it didn't save the progress for them.
Yeah,
and the game is stupid because you have to be like as far as everybody else to play with everybody else, which I don't like. That's stupid.
Yeah,
really.
It is dumb.
Well, whatever. So that reminded me of that because like the way the game plays and like your movement and the combat to a certain extent, like it's exactly like it feels exactly the same. So I'm like, oh, I can't do this right now. So on Thursday I decided like I'm just gonna start Disco Elysium and so I'm just gonna see what happens. And I really wanted to play today, but I didn't have time before the show. But man, and like I told you, I kind of relate this to the first time I played Dishonored. So when I first played Dishonored, when it first came out, oh geez, was that 2010, 2011, 2012, something like that? 2014, I can't remember.
Yeah.
I was like instantly like taken back, like, oh my God, like I think I might have just found like a top 5 game or a top 10 game of like all time. And I'm just starting to play it. And I feel that way about Disco Elysium, like in spades. It's unexpectedly funny. It kind of reminds me of like the Stanley Parable in a way. Even though I think you're familiar with that game.
I actually don't remember the Stanley Parable.
No? So now gameplay it's different, but in terms of the narrator or like a narration voice, kind of like giving you grief and making fun of you and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like kind of that style of narration.
Yeah. I remember that game now, actually.
So
talk about that.
Disco Elysium, it kind of has that. It's like I was laughing out loud a lot, like to it, and It's kind of got the same kind of gameplay. It's top down. It almost feels like a tabletop game because some decisions you make and dialogue options you make based on your stats, you do like a dice roll, which is it took me kind of by surprise, but I really liked it.
Oh, that's cool.
If anybody listening or watching, or even you, Tony, if you've played
I'm listening.
like a Baldur's Gate or a Planetscape or a Planescape, sorry, or like just like a top down kind of like tabletop kind of game, it has that kind of gameplay. Artistically, it's really cool. The dialogue is like super well written, and with the final cut, it's fully voice acted. So I don't know what it was like before because I never played it in the other state. But there's like every character in the game is fully voiced and everything now. So it's on top of the narration. So it's really cool. Like I'm really looking forward to playing more of it. Probably tomorrow morning when I wake up, have coffee, and just try and get a couple hours in anyway.
Nice.
Other than that, I don't think I've really played. I'm getting closer to playing Cyberpunk again, though. I'll tell you that. We got a big CyberWatch today, so we'll save that for the end. But
CyberWatch.
I'm getting closer and closer to actually like trying to dive into it. So
nice.
Yeah, that's been pretty much the week. And I want to play more Diablo as well because I'm in Act 3 now. You're defending like a fortress. Now Diablo 3, I'm not sure. Normally, because I have the expansion afterwards too, so there might be 4 acts. If with Diablo 2, the normal game has 4 acts, and then the expansion added a 5th one. So I don't know with this one if it's the same kind of deal.
It's probably around the same, you'd think.
So I'm gonna guess it's around 4 acts in the base game, and then I'll have the Reaper of Souls expansion after. So yeah, we'll see.
Nice.
Really well done, though. I'm really enjoying everything I've played this week, which is really nice, actually.
Good.
Oh, and we played Fortnite on Sunday, I think it was.
Yeah, we played a good amount of Fortnite on Sunday, and I'll probably do that again this weekend. I kind of like playing Fortnite like weekend afternoons. I don't know, it's just a chill time for me.
Yeah.
It's good. Maybe I'll wake up nice and early Sunday, and I'll play Sunday morning or something. That sounds like a good time. Sunday morning, some coffee, some Fortnite. That sounds good.
I can try out this new mouse with that, too, because my other one, it totally crapped out the morning after. Like, half the mouse clicks were registering. Yeah. I'm like, I can't do this. Like, I got to get this mouse now.
There you go. We can try it out.
Dude. I'm so happy.
It's a date. Sunday morning.
Beautiful.
Nice. Let's get into some reader response, and we do actually have a comment on the last video. I shouldn't say that. We do actually have a comment. I shouldn't say it like that. Fuck. I'm such a great host. No, but the comment, I don't have it word for word, but basically the comment was saying that we should have had Diablo 2 gameplay instead of Diablo 3. And you know what? Hindsight's 2020. We totally should have.
Yeah.
So, you know what? That's cool. I responded to the comment on my own personal account. I was like, hey, like, good idea. Like, we'll do that next time.
And you know what? If that person's listening, which I doubt they are, but if they're listening, I actually have a response for that. It's not even a soundboard clip. So I have Diablo 2, the original, installed on my computer, and I tried to I launched it. It must launch, and I'm stupid with computers in this sense, but when you play an older game, does it ever emulate an older operating system when you're playing it? Because I tried to open the Xbox Game Bar when I was playing Diablo 2, and said it wasn't compatible with this version of Windows or something like that. So I can't even physically record that way. And I never got the Elgato out, so I don't know if it'll probably work that way, I'm guessing. But
yeah,
I could not actually record Diablo 2.
That's definitely a thing. So some games just in order to make them work, they basically emulate whatever copy of Windows it was made for, and you go to there, whether that was XP or Vista or whatever the hell, Windows 7.
Maybe Elgato won't work then.
No, Elgato should work, because Elgato doesn't care what operating system you have. Like, it records whatever is plugged into it, right? So
okay,
yeah, that should
maybe I'll record some Diablo 2 for another week.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure whenever you get access to Diablo 2 Technical Alpha, you're gonna want to play and record it. So maybe that's the right thing to do.
The next one's summer. So I'm hoping, and it's multiplayer too, so we could even, if it ever comes to console, which I don't think the alpha would be for that, but if it does come to PC or console, we could be part of the next one. I don't know if it'll be random next time, but it is in the summer, so we'll see what happens.
I'm sure they'll expand it to more people as they kind of go on here. They usually do. So yeah, that's the reader response, and a reminder for everyone watching here live that you can absolutely talk in the chat like Fox is doing, and we're gonna try to respond to you in the best way we can. You can talk about games. You can talk about whatever. You can make fun of us. We don't care. We just want to talk with you guys. And of course, if you're watching the VOD, you can leave a comment, of course, whether that's about the game we're playing. If you're watching this Warzone game and you're noticing some really bad gameplay, This was from a while ago when we actually recorded this, and I was not playing well that day. But yeah, feel free to comment and maybe ask us questions, or if you have a certain thought on one of the topics, or if you just want to, rip me for playing Warzone pretty poorly that night. That's cool too. So whatever you want to do, we just want some engagement. Yeah.
Like, you can say whatever you want, only because
I've got balls of steel.
Oh, come on, that was a poor transition.
I can't. Okay, well, listen, it's our first day with the new soundboard with actual sound clips. They'll give me a break.
That worked. That was okay. That was good. Good. All right, let's get into the G Fuel flavor of the day. I've actually not had any G Fuel yet today. I was gonna save it for after the pod. Maybe not. I kind of had a lot of coffee today to get through the workday because work was kind of nuts. So I didn't want to have like more caffeine. You know what I mean? So that's why I haven't had any yet. But have you had any G Fuel today?
Yeah, I had 28 ounces of watermelon, and I've hit another tub where I can see the bottom very clearly. So I'm getting worried now. Two of my favorite flavors are going really far down. So I don't know.
You know what we need to do next time there's a BOGO? Now that I'm in town, we just need to like order a bunch on one person's account, and that way we save the shipping.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
And then like say, like I order 8 tubs or whatever, and then they all get shipped here, and then I distribute to you guys. And that way we're not each paying however much it is in shipping after conversion and taxes and all that stuff, right? So
yeah,
that's what we should do next time is a BOGO. Anyways, there was just a BOGO recently, so I don't know when the next one will be. Probably sometime in the summer, but we'll go from there. Let's get into one of our weekly segments. One that I'm very passionate about, and that is Infinite Watch. And we're going to wait for the sound clip.
Status report.
There we go. Okay.
Am I playing or are you playing it?
I played it. It was just taking a while to open on the thing. I didn't have it open. Okay. I'll play it again for everyone watching.
Status report.
There we go. And actually, funny enough about that clip, the status report, that I just played the status report one, Jim. That is actually a part of the conversation today. I'll tell you why. So, there was another Ask 343 video that came out, and they do this every time they post Inside Infinite blog post once a month. 2 weeks or 3 weeks after, they'll usually on the 15th of every month they'll push out an Ask 343 video where they basically just respond to fan questions relating to the last blog post, which is really cool. This was another 30-minute video, deep dive into all the audio of the game, which was really cool. Nothing incredibly groundbreaking in it, but a really cool listen nonetheless, just kind of getting a peek behind the scenes of what their thoughts are when they're making the sound design of the game, how they record some things, and really just picking the brains of some really, really smart people. So once again, John Unishek, who's the community manager of Halo and has been in every single video, flexes on everybody about how he plays the game. I feel like every time after he responds to a question, he's like, oh yes, I played the game too. And it's like, oh, come on, man. I just want to play the game. But anyways, I also wanted to shout out Kyle Frazier, or Fraser. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. It's probably Frazier, but he's the lead sound designer on Halo Infinite, and he just sounds like a freaking genius, man. I don't even know how to describe it. It's like the way he talks about everything, like how he like captures audio and like how meticulous is and how detailed his answers are. He was giving like serious genius vibes, like you know Kent, like our friend Kent from back in high school, and how he gave off the genius vibes too. Like this guy was the same way, dude. Like I was just like, whoa, this guy is super smart and like really good at what he does. He was like talking about how he carries an audio recorder with him at all times, just in case he hears something like a sound or something and he wants to capture it, just in case he can use that in a game at some point. Like, how cool is that? Like, the dude just carries around an audio recorder and he's like, oh, that's cool. He'll just record the audio. And he also talked about how he tries to move at least once a year and only rents, because he likes recording different sounds in different areas, in different apartments, in different houses, whatever it is, because every single environment's a little bit different in terms of how the audio kind of reverberates off walls and what the building architecture of the houses, that kind of stuff. So like some really like, you're just listening to this guy talk and you're like, holy shit, this guy like lives and breathes audio. And like, how cool is that guy's working on Infinite? Like, I don't know. It makes me happy when I see people and it's like, oh yeah, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, bud. Like this guy is absolutely doing what he's supposed to be doing. So that was I just wanted to give a shout out to him. I'm sure he's not listening, but wanted to say that nonetheless. Let's get into some actual news now. So nothing crazy here on Infinite, but the classic plasma pistol humming sound is back when you charge the plasma pistol. From the classic, basically Halo's 1 through Reach, there was a charge like the right, like basically that when you're charging and holding the plasma pistol. So that's back now, which is great. More of the Halo Infinite soundtrack, which is between 3 and 4 hours, which is actually the longest Halo soundtrack ever at this point, will not be released prior to the launch of the game, as they don't want to spoil any story beats or characters, which I thought was interesting. To me, that screams like, hey, like maybe there's a song on there that, like, you know, like the flood music from like Halo 3 and stuff like that. Like, I feel like they're trying to hide stuff like that, which is cool. I mean, that just makes me excited about. I mean, it sucks that we're not going to get any more of the soundtrack before the game comes out. It sounds like, but it's cool that that's all there. So, makes me excited about the rest of the music in this game, because what they've released so far is very, very good. As well, music from the Discover Hope trailer, which is where the status report is from. Play it one more time.
Status report.
Status report. That was from the E3 2018 trailer, and if you remember, Jim, that was the trailer where Chief is basically floating in space, and the pilot like gets him out, kind of thing. So that that music from that trailer is a part of the soundtrack. And also, it's been confirmed. I think it was confirmed previously, but they flat out said it this time, that the Discover Hope trailer, the E3 2018 trailer, is literally the cinematic opening to the game. So, if you're playing the game, sorry, it's got a message here. Okay, so apparently Jim's having trouble hearing me, so I'll just continue going until Discord's good. 1 second. But basically the Discover Hope trailer from E3 2018, which you can watch live on YouTube right now, is actually, that's the opening cinematic to the game, which is really cool. So if you want to know how Halo Infinite starts, you can watch the first cutscene, the opening cinematic, right now on YouTube, which I thought was cool. There's also a bit of a doomsday alarm on the on vehicles as they're about to blow up, which I thought was kind of cool. So like as the vehicle's getting closer and closer to exploding, there's like an alarm that's playing on the vehicle. Think like beeps, or like, you know, a flashing red light, or on a Covenant case, like plasma sounds and stuff like that. That just gets more and more dire. And apparently it makes it very, very clear that the vehicle is about to explode and you need to leave, which is pretty funny. Also, Jim's might just leave and he's gonna check the audio. So I'm not sure if it's on his end or on my end, but I think you guys can hear me just fine. So I'm gonna keep going. The 2020 gameplay demo that we saw last July at the July showcase for Halo Infinite, that was cut, quote, almost like a year ago. So, I mean, if you think about it, that's kind of crazy. So the 2020 gameplay demo that we saw in July last year, the one that was criticized, and people were like, oh, this game's graphics look bad and stuff like that, that was cut back in April of 2020. So what we actually saw in July wasn't an accurate representation of what the game even was in July. It was from a couple months prior, which they had said before, but now we have kind of definitive timelines that it was actually like back in April. So kind of crazy to see that we know a timeline there. Also, potential Spartan voices will be there to customize your Spartans, which is cool. Jeff Steitzer, who is the multiplayer Halo announcer, the classic double kill, triple kill, overkill, that guy, he is back, which is awesome. So he's going to continue doing the multiplayer announcing, which is great. And lastly, the Halo Infinite battle rifle was based off of the Halo 2 battle rifle. So that is great to know. Jim, can you hear me? Am I coming through for you now? Ooh, maybe not. Uh-oh. I think it's actually on my end. 1 second, guys.
Testing. Hello. Is this on time now?
Oh, I can hear you now.
Hello.
Weird. Okay, hold on. I'm actually going to leave. 1 second. I'm going to leave and come back. Okay. Testing.
I think that's better.
Yeah, I think you're coming through now.
Okay, I think everything's okay. I don't know. I was listening to the stream and like meeting you at the same time, and like the stream was way ahead of you. So I'm not sure what it's like now, but it might be my end too. I'm not sure.
Wait, the stream was way ahead of me?
Oh.
Technical issues, everyone.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, what?
Oh god.
I mean, I think I'm coming through clear on my end. It's got to be a Discord thing, no? Hold on. Let me pull this up on my phone so I can actually see and hear what this is. Everybody, please stand by. Oh yeah, I'm coming through crystal clear, man. Okay.
Okay, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Is this working now?
Yeah, yeah.
Can you hear me at all, Tony, or no?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Hello, testing. 1, 2. Tony.
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay, if you can hear me, say spaghetti.
Spaghetti. Why would you say spaghetti?
Oh my god. I don't know, it seems like a random thing to say.
Yeah. Okay, so I don't know. I think Discord's screwing up right now.
Okay, I heard everything you said, so don't worry.
Okay. I think this is going to be kind of scuffed for the rest of the podcast.
So it's me. It's not you. It's me.
I think so. Okay. I just quit and rejoin again. I don't know if that'll help. Okay.
Oh, this might not be our night, man.
Can you hear me okay right now?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. I can hear you fine. Like I said, on stream you're good. On Discord, I don't know what's up with Discord, but
weird. Okay. Maybe I don't know if this will help because I think it is your end. I think maybe like completely exit Discord and then restart it, and I'll just keep going through like mine. Like I'll just go through a couple news things here that we don't even really need to talk about. I just wanted to touch on them. So let's do that.
Yep. Okay. I'll be back in a few minutes or a minute or two.
Cool. All right, everyone. Well, hopefully we can get that figured out with Jim. I think it's on his end. I'm pretty sure it is. But we're going to talk about a couple more things here. So, last thing on Halo Infinite was that I mentioned an email disclaimer last week that I got as part of the Halo Insider program. That said over the next 3 weeks we're going to be getting more emails and stuff like that. That has actually changed to over the next 5 weeks now. I got another email and it said over the next 5 weeks. So I'm just going to repeat the statement for everyone who might have missed it last week. That is, over the next 5 weeks, not 3 weeks now, it's 5 weeks. You're going to be seeing an increased frequency of emails from us. Full disclosure, we're hard at work preparing a new email system for when Halo Infinite arrives. And this is part of the process. We're going to hold up our end of the bargain, of course, and we're doing our best to make these emails as useful as possible. Thank you for your time. And thank you for being a Halo Insider. So it seems like their timelines have changed a little bit. It said over the next 5 instead of over the next 3. So I think it just means that they're just going to be doing some additional testing and stuff like that, which is completely okay. Hopefully that means that we're going to be getting some kind of beta news, some kind of flighting news over the next little bit. So that's all I have for Infinite Watch. Let's close it off with the ending sound clip. Where is it? Where did it go? What the hell? There it is. Wow, this podcast is scuffed.
See what happens when Harley's not on.
Goodbye, John.
Wow.
Goodbye, John. Jim, can you hear me perfectly now? Oh no, I don't think so.
God, we might have to like I cannot hear you very well. I'm gonna have to like listen to the stream and like talk to you through the stream at this point.
I mean that's not good though because the stream's delayed. As you can tell. Oh, you gotta love audio issues. Okay. Here's what we're gonna do, everybody. We're gonna go be right back, okay? Okay, everyone, we are back. I think we've solved it. Jim, spaghetti. Oh no. Spaghetti. Spaghetti.
Are you there?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh.
Why? Why is this happening? Hold on. What if I turn off the gameplay? I don't know if that'll help at all. 1 second.
Oh God.
Okay, how's that? Is that better?
Yeah. Hold on. I gotta mute the stream. Say it again.
Is that better?
Okay. Spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
Okay. I think it might be working now. I don't know.
Hold on. I'm gonna turn on the gameplay again, and let's see if it works. Ready?
22 episodes and it screws up now.
Uh-oh.
Now. This is like the first big screw up. Damn it.
Spaghetti.
Okay. Are you there?
Spaghetti.
Oh, no. Oh God. Spaghetti, but I don't know how long ago you said it. It sounded like it cut in. Oh.
Okay, how about now?
Okay.
This sucks. How about now?
I can't hear you at all now.
How about now? How about
Anything?
now? Hello?
Hello.
Spaghetti. Okay.
Okay.
I just, froze the gameplay. And I think it helped.
Maybe we should just have, no gameplay. I don't think that'll make a difference.
I mean, I can just do that.
I don't know. I don't know what's going to help now. It your audio, it'll show you're talking and then nothing comes out and then it'll go away. But then all of a sudden you'll cut in and I hate this. Not
why
a
that's
fan.
happening.
Although it might be okay now though. This is the most normal it's sounded so far anyway.
Okay. Well, that's something.
So Paper Fox said they can hear us both. That's good.
Wait, really? I'm gonna refresh the chat. Hold on.
So maybe our audio just is not syncing up or something.
I just think it's not syncing up. I think Discord's having issues right now. That has to be it, right?
It must be.
But I think it's okay now, right?
Yeah. Hold on. Tell me when you hear this.
I heard it immediately.
Okay, I think that's a good sign.
Oh no. Okay, well, that's something. Okay, I think we've been troubleshooting audio for 10 minutes now, live.
I'll have to put a thing in the description about the issues. Fuck.
Yeah, not good. I don't know what's happening. Weird. You know what? I blame my computer. This computer's a piece of shit.
I think we're good now, though.
Yeah, I think we are too. Okay. Either way, I finished Infinite Watch. So let's get through the rest of the news. I just did a lot of talking. Jim, how about you talk about IO Interactive opening a new studio?
So IO Interactive, and tell me if my audio screws up at all between now and then.
Yeah.
But IO Interactive, who developed the Hitman franchise most famously. Which actually, do you have any other Hitman news? Because I could quickly mention something while I'm talking about this.
No, go for it. I don't have any.
Apparently, Hitman 3 sold 300% more than Hitman 2.
Oh wow.
Which is cool and crazy. But anyway,
Yeah.
So IO Interactive are currently working on a James Bond title. And they decided to open up a new studio in Barcelona. But probably called IO Interactive Barcelona. It's ambitious and exciting plans for expansion over the next coming years, which is pretty cool. Why Barcelona? I'm not sure, but it's pretty cool. They have two other studios. IOI Barcelona will be joining IO Interactive's two other studios, IOI Copenhagen and IOI, I can't pronounce that, Malmo. Mamo, but they are. Sorry, this is I'm all thrown off because of the audio stuff. But anyway, it says via this article that it will assist those other studios in supporting Hitman 3, which already has extra content being made. And it shows whatever content's coming out in its roadmap for this month. So there is the James Bond, which is appropriately titled Project 007 for now, but there is another unannounced new IP that they'll be helping in development for too, which is exciting.
Ooh,
so
cool.
I haven't heard anything about the other IP, but I mean, that's pretty cool. I mean, they're a good studio. I mean, I kind of account them to like how CD Projekt Red was before Cyberpunk. So hopefully this, and I have a lot of faith in the Bond game. So I'm cautiously hopeful about the Bond game at this point.
Big time. I mean, that could be a match made in heaven. So
yeah,
very good. Very good.
Do we keep going through the news or no?
Yeah. I'll touch on one of my points here. So, and that is Genshin Impact is getting a PS5 version on April 28th, which is cool. Still not coming to Xbox as of right now, which I'm not a fan of. I guess I could always just play it on PC, but I can't really run it too well on PC. So I was really hoping it was going to come to Xbox. Hopefully it will at some point. But yeah, it is getting a PS5 version, which is cool. And that kind of rules into my next quick story, and that is PS5 is getting its first major update, and that's out now. I mean, that is that PS5 owners can now finally store PS5 games on an external hard drive. Doesn't mean you can play them, but you can just kind of store them there. Xbox has been able to do that from the start, which has been nice because you could store games on your external and then move them over to your internal when you want to play them. It's a workaround to having not as much storage because each of these consoles don't have a crazy amount of storage. So nice that they finally have that, as well as it now supports 1080p at 120 hertz. So if you have a 120 hertz monitor, you can now use your PS5 on it and actually be able to have the high frames. And again, that's something Xbox has had from the start, but nice that PS5 has that now too. And it's also getting some enhancements to HDR. So PS5 got a pretty nice update there, and it's getting the Genshin Impact version soon. So just wanted to mention that. If you are a PS5 owner, you got some cool things coming your way soon. And speaking of PC and Genshin Impact, let's talk about another PlayStation game coming to PC, and that's Days Gone, right?
That was a great transition.
Yeah, it was good.
Man, we are on the ball. You know what? Despite the issues we had before, I think we're doing wonderful. But anyway, like you said, speaking of PlayStation, another PlayStation game is coming to PC. Days Gone is coming out on PC on Steam and the Epic Games Store on May 18th. Now, for those who don't know, Days Gone is like the zombie survival game. You're on a motorcycle. It was a first-party Sony game. And apparently, earlier this year, Sony said that they'll be bringing a whole slate of their games to PC. So I guess Days Gone is kind of the first of those PlayStation first-party games to roll it on a PC.
Nice.
Now, do you have any interest in trying this game? I don't know if I could run it. I haven't checked that website, but it looked like a cool game when it came out, but I still don't really have any interest in trying to play it. I'd rather play like Horizon Zero Dawn on PC over that right now, in terms of if we're talking like big Sony games. I know Days Gone was never on my radar, but I don't know if it's on sale for like cheap and I got nothing else to play, which will never happen really, but maybe I'll check it out if it's cool enough. I don't know. I know there was mixed reviews when it came out, but they got better as they went along. So
yeah, I don't really have any interest to play Days Gone unless it's hyper on sale. I definitely couldn't run it anyways. But yeah, I would rather play a Horizon Zero Dawn or a Spider-Man over Days Gone. But cool that it's coming to PC. Hopefully it gets a bigger audience that way. We were just talking about Days Gone last week and how the studio wanted to make a sequel and that got shut down. So hopefully maybe this will pique some more interest and Sony will change their mind and let them make a sequel. So
yeah.
Don't have a good transition here, but this is that Apex Legends has hit over. Well, actually, you know what? Hold on, this is a good transition. So speaking of increasing your player base, Apex Legends has hit over 100 million unique players.
Oh wow,
which is a lot of people, right? Now, mind you, that's not 100 million people all online at the same time. That's 100 million people across every platform, across people. That probably counts people who have played it once versus people who play it all the time, whatever. But 100 million unique players is a big deal. So big milestone for them. Apex Legends still trucking along, still very, very popular. And a reminder that Season 9, which is the next season, is going to feature Titanfall in some way. That's confirmed. So we'll see what happens with that, if there's Titans in the game now, or however they manage to kind of integrate those in. So good job for Apex. I do want to jump back into Apex at some point. Maybe Season 9 will be the tipping point with Titanfall coming back to it. So
Yeah, I always wanted to go back to it because we started playing it quite a bit when it first came out. Like I said, I think the last time I remember playing it was around season, oh god, like 2 or 3.
yeah,
That was
a
the
while
last
ago.
time we actually played it. Yeah, I don't know. It's I don't know. It looks like we're getting updated and it's getting like the quality like care and like attention it needs. It shows that it's got all the I'm so screwed up now. Like 100 million players, like are unique ones anyway. So
Yeah.
I have more interest to play a game like Apex as opposed to going back to like Hyperscape or at this point Warzone, just because I want it to change. But yeah, I don't know.
That could be a great transition into our COD stuff, but we'll save that for the last topic.
Yeah.
As well, I'll say my last one here, and then you go into your last one. We'll go into CyberWatch. We'll go into Call of Duty. Bing, bang, boom. So, Battlefield 6 might skip the PS4 and Xbox One and only come out to next-gen consoles and PC. And this is according to a notable Battlefield leaker, Tom Henderson. On Twitter, he has stated that. And he also stated that the game is simply called Battlefield. It's not called Battlefield 6. It's not called Battlefield whatever the hell. It's just called Battlefield, which is interesting. I wonder if that's true or not. And as well, to add on to all the hot takes, he has stated that Battlefield 6 will be coming to Game Pass day one to, quote, boost up player numbers, which is a hell of a strategy. And if you think about it, the relationship between Xbox and EA is already there because EA plays on, a part of Game Pass now. So maybe there's where there's smoke, there's fire there, and there's actually a bit of a relationship when it comes to Game Pass and Battlefield. So
that
could be really cool.
Sense.
Would make total sense, right? I mean, if Battlefield 5's on EA Play already, maybe they just throw Battlefield 6 on Game Pass day one, again, to boost up players, and that's what you want. You want people playing your game as soon as it comes out. You want people talking about it. You want people streaming it. So that it's a decent strategy, right? So I'm sure the game's gonna have microtransactions. That's where they'll make their actual money.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought that was all interesting. I know we've been playing, not recently actually, not in the last couple weeks, but we started playing Battlefield 5 and been having a good time. So hoping that Battlefield 6 is more of a return to modern, big city combat. That's always fun. So see what happens there. And we got some exciting news about awful transition. Resident Evil 8 specs for all the consoles, right?
I will say, you say it's a bad transition, but this actually kind of does excite me a little bit. So for those who don't know, Resident Evil 8 will be coming to previous console generations, as in the Xbox One and the PS4, as well as obviously PC and PS5 and Series X. But Capcom, in a smart move, I think, released the console resolutions and frame rates for each of the consoles, which is kind of nice. This would have been nice to have with Cyberpunk too, because if I would have seen Cyberpunk specs before, I would have just went right to the
what
PC
would they have listed
version.
though, like 15 FPS? Like, I don't know about that.
I don't know. Half finished. Okay, anyway. So I'm just going to read some of these out quickly because a lot of them, they tend to overlap a little bit.
Yeah.
So on the PlayStation 5, you can have 4K HDR at 60 frames per second. On the PS4 Pro, and there's actually, I should just read all of them. So there's a difference here. So you can enable ray tracing on the PS5 and the Series X and the Series S, I guess too, and the Xbox One X. So with PlayStation 5, without that, like I said, was 4K HDR at 60 frames. PlayStation 5, when you turn ray tracing on, you still 4K HDR, but it's only 45 frames per second. PS4 Pro, 1080p at 60. PS4 Pro, when set to high resolution, 4K HDR at 30 frames. And just the base PS4, it outputs at 900p at 45 frames. So Xbox is kind of similar with the Series X, 4K HDR, 60 frames. When you turn ray tracing on, Series X, it's the same as the PS5, still 4K HDR at 45. The Series S, though, outputs to 1440p HDR at 45 frames per second. And on the Series S, if you turn ray tracing on, you're still 1440p HDR, but you're at 30 frames. And the Xbox One X, 1080p at 60 frames. The Xbox One X, when you turn high resolution on, 4K HDR at 30 frames, and the base Xbox One is 900p at 30 frames. And for those who own a Google Stadia, you get 1080p at 60 frames or 4K at 60 frames. The 4K is a note here. The 4K is upscaled using dynamic resolution. So this kind of excites me because now I know they're saying it's entirely possible to play it on the old consoles. It's nice to know the specs ahead of time. So now the kind of question is, am I excited enough to just buy it on the Xbox One? Because I don't mind 30 frames or whatever. I don't really care. And 900p, I mean, that's kind of a bummer, but it's not much less than 1080p, because I don't have a 4K TV or 4K output, so I don't really notice the difference. So it won't be too much of a difference anyway, which is nice. How do you feel about this?
Yeah, I mean, it's good that the specs are out there. I like how forward they were. It also, I mean, it shows that the game is absolutely playable on last gen, which is nice. 30 frames is playable, right? So that's good that base Xbox One owners will be able to play it. Base PS4 is fine, and they kind of go all the way up the ladder and show you how good the game can kind of get. So yeah, I thought that was cool. I'm pretty interested in this game. I haven't played Resident Evil VII yet, but yeah, I am pretty interested.
You should.
I know. I think it's on Game Pass.
That game's a banger, man. Yes,
Yeah.
it is. Yeah, it should be.
I think it's on Game Pass. It was at one point for sure, but either way, especially with us getting into more like spooky games recently, I kind of had the urge to do it. So
yeah, man. Yeah. Horror games are a nice little hole to go down. I have before I started trying to play Dragon's Dogma, I was going to start playing The Evil Within because it's a game I've always wanted to get to, and I might even do that now because I'm not playing Dragon's Dogma anymore. So
there you go.
I might just go down that hole.
Yeah.
And I got to keep going through Wolfenstein 2. But regardless, yeah. So the question is, it comes out May 7th or 8th or something like that in that area. So am I excited enough to buy it? And then just as soon as I get a Series X or S or whatever I end up getting down the road. And now, okay, because I'm stupid with this too, because you own a Series X. If I bought a game now, I still own that game on the Series X. Would they give me the Series X version, or would I still be playing the Xbox One version?
It depends on the game, because the publishers can kind of decide that. I'm actually not sure what Resident Evil's doing, if they're making you rebuy the game, or if there's like
That's
a $10
why I'm a little
upgrade
hesitant
fee.
about it, but
I'm sure you can find that information out. It's got to be public somewhere. But so, some of them are just giving you the next gen version for free. Some of them are charging you $10. Some of them are making you buy the whole game again. So it's not really clear right now, unfortunately.
So if that's the case, I wouldn't mind. Like if it is a free upgrade to the next gen version on those consoles, I would for sure want to. I buy it ahead of time because I mean, if I'm going to get the next version anyway, I mean, I'm excited enough to play it, so I have no problem playing it on like 30 frames at 900p. Like I don't really care at this point, really. So
yeah. I mean, I do some research, see what it's like. Go from there.
I probably watch some gameplay videos first too. So.
Yeah, you know what? I think it's the only Resident Evil news we have this week. But there is a demo coming everywhere. It's a 1-hour demo, and it's a timed based demo, so you can kind of go as far as you want in the hour.
Okay.
And I think PlayStation owners get it earlier because they have the deal with them, but Xbox people are getting it too. So you'll be able to play the demo yourself and see. You'll get an hour of gameplay. Nice. So I think that's happening at the end of the month, I want to say.
That would make sense because the game comes out, well, actually, in under a month now. So there you go.
Yeah, I think they're giving people a week or two ahead of time to play the demo, something like that. But yeah, let's get into our CyberWatch, Jim.
Wake up, samurai. It's time for this week's CyberWatch.
Nice.
So we actually have a lot of CyberWatch this week. I pulled 4 stories to talk about here.
Wow.
A couple of them are just mentions. There's not a whole lot to talk about. Where is it here? So the first one I want to talk about is a data miner went through patch 1.2 and they apparently uncovered some likely DLC quests. So the big 1.2 patch just happened at the end of March. And we went through it on the show, but there was a ton of fixes. Like there was like an absurd amount of, which is good. Like we want that.
There was like a 40 gig patch for a 50 gig for a 60 gig game. Like they pretty much rewrote the whole game. Crazy.
but apparently this turned out to be maybe more than just a fix. The data miner's name is Romulus, and apparently what he found was pointing towards DLC specific quests. So I'm not sure. I can't remember when they laid out DLC for this game, but there is DLC coming for the single player, and hopefully the multiplayer never comes out and they just focus on the single player. But anyway, it's supposed to be free coming out the first half of this year, and then paid DLC will come later. But there's a couple highlights from what he found. So in this article from Forbes, because there's a dozen fixes with another thing I'm going to talk about next, but the highlights of this data mine said, point one, all of these are under the umbrella of the name story-EP1. So in the normal game files, usually it's not named episode 1. So people are thinking this is an additional DLC thing. Episode 1 files contain some plots for street stories, which appear to be smaller gig-like quests. There's 2 characters talking about a new character named Wagner. Another story is a hostage situation involving the Kurtz militia, which is one of the factions in the game. And there is another one finding a hidden den of netrunners, and there is mention of a bomb in a swimming pool. So this is all new stuff that this person had found in the data mine, which brings me to, because we were talking about 1.2, we already had a 1.21 hotfix, which came out this week, actually, I believe. This week or last week. But anyway, brand new, fresh. The main goal of the hotfix, the first goal anyway, was to improve the stability of the game, which would correct errors that could cause technical issues or disrupt gameplay. And there is it also I can't talk today. It also aimed to fix progression problems, which is very nice.
Okay.
And I kind of like that they're putting these out really close, because I want them to focus on this game. I really do. And going to the third story here, I'm really bad at CyberWatch today, but going to the third story here, they may show us just how much of a profit they made. So they're going to finalize it. So it says here they're going to publish a finalized earnings report on April 22nd, but apparently they already revealed how much they made during its 2020 financial year. So long story short, in Polish money, it is 2.139 billion. I don't know PLN, that's there, but that's 562 million US dollars in profit.
Yeah.
That's absurd, which is cool because I don't know. I'm so distraught. I apologize to the viewers. I got so screwed up with the audio stuff earlier. It threw me off.
Oh, you're fine, man. You're fine. You're good.
I'm in a bad mood now. But anyway, so yeah. So they made a lot of money. That's the biggest thing I can pull from that.
They probably
story.
made even more, man. Like 2020 financial year. I don't know what months those run through, because usually companies don't run December to December. It's usually like something else. So I bet they made even more, because they sold something like 13 million copies on day one, and that includes all the refunds they took out. So, I mean,
so actually,
it might be more.
I didn't read far enough here, actually. So while they pulled in 562.5 million in revenue, their net profit was 303.5 million.
Yeah, after
in US dollars,
stuff like that.
Oh,
yeah,
that's still significant, man. It's kind of cool because they can pull that money for improving the game now. But anyway, and just to compare, in 2019 they made around 500 million, 500 million Polish PLN, whatever it is. So they made a lot more money in the 2020 financial year. So cool. So this also brings me to the last story here, which is kind of a hopeful one. So what's his name? I cannot pronounce. Oh, Adam Kaczynski. So
okay.
You're
good. Keep going. Keep going. You're good. You're good.
So Adam Kaczynski said that they are not going to give up on Cyberpunk, and they hope it can sell for years to come. Quote, I don't see an option to shelve Cyberpunk 2077. We are convinced that we can bring the game to such a state that we can be proud of it and therefore successfully sell it for years to come. That gives me hope, again, because like I keep saying almost every week, I feel like I get closer and closer to actually like sitting down and starting to pump some actual time back into Cyberpunk. it might be nice. That might be a nice time too because I'm playing two like top down. What do you call it? Like ARPG games, I guess you could call them, kind of. So this might be a nice change to kind of get back into the realm of playing other games because it's just been Diablo for the last couple of weeks, really. And I know I still have faith in this game. I think it's entirely possible to. It'll never be what it was promised, but I mean, we can definitely get a game that can be a very fun first person, like namesake cyberpunk or like ARPG or first person, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty hopeful. I mean, it still kind of hurts the launch. Like I'll never forget playing on the Xbox One and just like I'm just trying to hold on. I'm just trying to keep faith, and like I can't get past the technical stuff, and like it's so frustrating. But
yeah, you want to play the game, but the game's not letting you play the game.
Yeah, like I don't like when the control's taken away from me.
Yeah, for sure. I think the game will be in a good spot eventually. I think they're right. They're gonna the game. They made their money back on that game on day one. I remember seeing a story like that. So lots of profit. They're gonna keep working on it. Yeah, and clearly they want it to keep selling. Like The Witcher 3 has sold really well its entire lifespan too, right? So they want it to be like that, I'm sure, where they want it to keep selling. So they'll keep working on it. I'm personally gonna wait for the next gen patch at this point. I think, just based on everything else that's out, but. That's just me. You have it on PC, so you already have the next gen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's true. I don't know. Something in my head still tells me that, like I'd almost prefer to play it on console. I don't know. It's really nice playing it on PC. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know. I was really hopeful to be able to play a game like that on console. But regardless, I think we've talked enough about Cyberpunk. So
that concludes this week's CyberWatch. Move along, civilian.
Very good.
There you go.
Let's get into our main topic. Call of Duty Warzone.
The end.
Maybe. We'll see. There is.
What if they just like shut down the game servers?
Like they did with Fortnite. Remember Fortnite? They just blackholed the game for like three days. Nobody could play. I would actually be okay with that, to be honest.
I was gonna say that'd be kind of cool. That'd be a definite. That would almost like restart my intrigue in the game, to be honest.
Yeah, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But we have some ancillary Call of Duty news to go along with this Warzone event that is apparently going to take place. So we got an update that they Call of Duty, Activision, Raven Studios, sorry, they've issued around 500,000 permabans and counting, which is a lot. But there's still a big cheater problem. So, like, you think about it, they just permabanned 500,000 people, and there's more out there. How many cheaters are playing this game? It's crazy. As well, hackers right now are auto-live pinging the location of players and equipping night vision goggles, which aren't even officially a part of the game. But
really?
But they got it in there.
That's almost cool. I kind of like that.
It is kind of cool because they got something that's not supposed to be there in there. So it's like, wow, good job. But also at the same time, what the hell, Call of Duty? Like, how is this a thing? But
how have we never had a night like a dedicated, like we had the Halloween stuff, but
yeah,
it would have been cool to have like because the multiplayer had the night stuff for a while, but I think it went away.
Well,
or it comes back
there
once in a while.
There was a night mode, but I think it was only ever like trios or duos or something. Like, I don't know.
I liked it. I liked it a lot. It was actually like. It kind of, it changes the flavor of multiplayer, which is kind of what you want after, God bless Call of Duty, but it's the same like basic multiplayer every year. So it's nice to have changes that kind of reshape how you play.
Yeah, for sure. So hoping that'll happen with this new map. But apparently, so again, we said the end is near, and you can see in the thumbnail all that stuff. So there is a Warzone event happening on April 21st at 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. They literally say in the promotion material and everything that the end is near. So currently this entire season they've had zombie outbreaks all across the map happening at different locations, one at a time. Zombies have been kind of slowly moving across the map and plaguing areas. They eventually get cleaned and they move on to another area. It's been kind of a lame rollout in my opinion because like the zombies are only ever in one place. There's only ever like 40 of them and you have to activate them to get them to do anything. You have to like activate a little mini event. So I was kind of hoping the zombies are just going to be everywhere, but that hasn't been the case. But either way, it sounds like, and what a lot of Call of Duty leakers are kind of going on is that, this is finally going to be the event where the map gets nuked. Or right now, the zombies are actually at the dam. And people are thinking if the map isn't going to get nuked, maybe the zombies break the dam somehow, which floods the map and kind of changes it or something like that. So
I can dig that.
I mean, I could dig that too, right? So I think this kind of leads really well into what we kind of want from this event, because I think you and I specifically, you know, have certainly been a little burned out on Warzone. I think Harley too, if he was here, he would kind of say the same thing, where we just haven't really been playing it much, unless all of us are on and we want to play something together. But for the most part, we've been doing other things, and that's just because Warzone's been so samey and frustrating recently, you know? So
Yeah.
before we get into that conversation real quick, Fox and chat says sometimes you have to respect the level of effort put into cheating. Yeah, big time. I mean, it's really frustrating when you're playing a game and somebody's cheating and they kill you, but reading about like, wow, they got like night vision goggles into the game and they're not even in the game, it's crazy. Like, I don't know, it's pretty incredible what these hackers are doing in a bad way. And I really just shake my head at Activision and Call of Duty and the amount of money they pull in and how this happens. I just don't get it. How do you not have the best security system in video games? I do not understand. But either way, let's talk about what we want this event to be. Jim, I'll start with you. What's your ideal event? What do you think is going to happen? What do you want to happen?
So I kind of in my head came up with 3 scenarios I think that would please me enough. One specifically would really please me, but that would please me enough to keep playing. Kind of what you said about the dam. One, in general, have the map. If you're not going to change anything about the map in terms of points of interest, or I guess what their equivalent of landmarks would be, like in Fortnite, you know, like certain buildings that we always go to or whatever. Have the map change physically, if not altogether. So, like, you know, have the map flood when the nukes go off. Have the buildings destroyed. Have like it be like a wasteland, pretty much. Have stuff like that happen, because that really has never happened before. Like, do you remember months and months ago when if you were in a helicopter, and it might even still be this case now, and you looked, you're flying above the dam and looked at the ice, it almost looked like something was swimming underneath.
Yeah.
So, like, I always thought that was going to lead to the dam breaking or something, but you know, nothing ever happened. And we've had like the nukes. I guess they were disabled. I guess the one cutscene, but we've had, you know, the tease of Captain Price looking at the tablet and Verdansk shows it was nuked, and then I don't remember the name of the other map, but they showed like another city. So
Yeah.
we've been teased about a lot of stuff. But if you're not going to do anything about that, at least change the map, because Fortnite does this nicely too. Fortnite's had the same map for a while now too, but the first big change was in the summer season when it flooded. So you had like new land points on top of existing places that were different. And then this current season, they've had like the middle third of the map be like a different season, and like the whole
like
map,
the
or the
fall.
whole
Yeah.
like the whole kind of vibe of the map changed too, because you have all the primal and the makeshift stuff. But Call of Duty's never done anything like that. So my second option would be just like a total new map. Obviously, that would please us. I don't think it's going to happen. I think just Verdansk is going to change. They're going to build the Warzone experience around Verdansk, let's say. But if you're going to change a total new map, I remember way back in the day when we first had Modern Warfare and Warzone wasn't out yet. People were saying if you went to Superstore's multiplayer map and you went into spectator mode and you flew outside, you could see a low resolution version of the map, and that turned out to be true in the end. So people are saying that's the case with some Black Ops Cold War maps. So if that's the case, cool. Like, we have a total new map and a new experience and blah, blah, blah. And then the third option is, I don't know, it's kind of similar to the other two, but like, just have the map be like, if you're not going to destroy it, if you're not going to change the map, either change the points of interest or add new ones. Because as much as I love landing at military base or superstore or TV station or stadium, I mean, I can only land in the same spots so many times. Like, it'd be nice to have new points. Like, we had the shipwreck, but that wasn't really enough, because they kind of did that with Blackout too. I don't know if you remember when they had the yacht come in.
Yeah, yacht.
That was like the only real addition to the map that ever happened.
But with Blackout, they changed the map seasons all the time, remember?
Yeah, because the last one they did was like the superhero kind of one. But yeah. And actually, you know, if you're not going to change the map, at least maybe like, and here's a fourth scenario for you, just thought of. How about you take the zombies that are on the map, stop making the containment in like certain zones, and just okay, like they started a shipwreck and then they moved to I think it was prison, but keep the zombies there all the time and then just have it spread throughout the map, and then maybe like the last few days leading up to it, there's zombies everywhere. I don't know. There's so many different like ways I want this to go,
Yeah.
but I just have a funny feeling. I don't know. I'm not going to predict anything because I don't want to be disappointed, but I got a funny feeling I'm going to be underwhelmed. I'll say that.
Yeah, and I think that's a fair thing to say, man, because we've been underwhelmed with every single Warzone update. Every single time, there's been a lot of hype, there's been a lot of promises, a lot of hope, and every time it's just like, oh, it's the same, or oh, they changed this thing very, very slightly. So I'm kind of in line with you in terms of all those scenarios. I think the most ideal situation here is that we got a completely new map, based on the Cold War setting, and that goes for an entire year. Leading kind of leading into the next Call of Duty, whatever that is, right? If that's another World War II setting or whatever the hell. But I hope that what happens here is that Verdansk gets nuked and we get carried to the new map that's been rumored forever, and that's more of a Cold War theme map. And ideally, I would actually like that to be on the Cold War engine, but we know that's not the case. But that would be nice. I want more colors. I want winter. I want jungle. Like it doesn't have to make sense. Like Fortnite's island doesn't make sense, right? But that's okay. Like nothing needs to be hyper realistic here. We just want it to be fun, and that's where I think Blackout succeeded, because Blackout, wasn't realistic in a lot of ways. It was, you had the jungle, and you had areas where it was desert, and you had areas where it was, I don't think it had snow at one point, did it not? Maybe on the higher points it did. I'm trying to remember.
Yeah.
But either way, maybe it didn't have the snow the whole time. But I think it would just be nice to have more varied environments, because Verdansk is just so gray. Everything is gray and brown. And I understand they're going for that gritty, realistic look, but I don't know, man. I'm over it. I think I would rather have a brand new map, brand new colors, brand new points of interest, all that stuff. That sounds really good to me. That would bring me back into the Warzone fold for sure. And again, if they don't do that, at least change Verdansk significantly. Flood the map. Destroy points of interest, create new ones. Maybe downtown is absolutely just ruins, right? And it's all ruins, and like every building has like holes in the wall and stuff like that, rather than it being in like intact apartment buildings and stuff. You know what I mean? Like everything is just rubble. That would be kind of cool. There's a lot of things they could do where they could just completely change the map, right? And it doesn't necessarily need to make sense. It's a video game, right? So I just hope that they don't go down the realistic approach, and they're like, oh, well, we can't change it that much, because then, we'd have to change this, and then we'd have to change that. It wouldn't make any sense. And it's like, well, it doesn't need to make sense. It's okay. Call of Duty Warzone doesn't make sense in a nutshell.
Yeah, no guff.
There's nothing realistic about it. So, like, why are you trying to toe that line, right? So I hope that again, it's a brand new map. That would bring me into the fold. If it's not, then at least change this map pretty significantly. I think the dam flooding could be a cool thing. If they flood the dam and a lot of points of interest, get flooded or whatever, and they add boats or maybe swimming, and maybe the flooding of the dam kind of signals the change of season, and it's more like lush and green in summertime rather than winter. Like that would be kind of cool. But I just hope it's something different, not more of the same. Don't just add one point of interest. Don't just slightly change one thing, because if they do that, I don't know, man. I'm probably not going to play this game unless you guys are on, which has kind of been what's happening the last few seasons, to be honest.
Yeah. Like, do you remember, and this kind of changes my whole perspective on maybe what will end up happening with the map. This wasn't too long ago. This was last month, I think, anyway, if not early this month. Do you remember when that supposed advert had leaked by accident of like an unfinished commercial for the new Warzone map?
Yeah.
So I actually, as you're talking, and as I'm talking right now, I'm watching through it, and I skipped to when they actually started showing Warzone stuff. So if this advert's true, then we're going to be getting. It's still going to be for Dansk, but it's going to be 80s-ified or Cold War-ified, if you will.
Yeah.
So at the stadium right now, it looks very modern, but it would go back to looking like an outdoor stadium type of thing. Like if that's true, how does that make you feel? Because I don't know. If you're gonna do Cold War related stuff, like switch the engine. I know it's probably very hard to do that without like making a totally new game.
Yeah,
or
that's
maybe
the issue.
So if I don't know, I mean, it'd be cool to check out because it'll be the same map, but different, kind of, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's hard. I have mixed feelings about it just because I just want like something new. I don't want them to take. I mean, they'll obviously want to tie it to the current Call of Duty game out, but I mean, they had months to do that. But anyway, I'm feeling like I'm getting negative. I think it'd be cool to see everything, different. I don't know if it would make me. It's hard to say if I'd like the map more if it was changed
Well,
to
I
like
mean,
the 80s theme, but
we wouldn't know because we don't know what it looks like, right? I think overall what we're both getting at here is that as long as it's significantly different, as long as it's not more of the same, we're happy, right?
yeah.
So like if they're gonna go 80s, like really go 80s. Don't just like half go 80s, but everything is the same.
So if people want to check that out, it was getting removed on YouTube quite a bit for a while, but I think it's
Yeah.
pretty easy to find now. But there is a little bit of actual gameplay in there of somebody shooting a rocket launcher. So yeah, in the end, no pun intended. I'm excited to see just what happens. I don't know if I'm going to be excited about what changes, but I am excited that something's changing. It's just a matter of what and on what scale it'll change.
Yeah, and it's an in-game event, which is cool.
Yeah.
I'm always a fan of those. Last in-game event Call of Duty did that was for the reveal of Cold War, if you remember. That was a while ago. I think Harley and I did it. I don't know if you did it with us, but it was, and they actually hinted at the map being nuked way back then. In the in-game event.
I remember, yeah, I did that with you guys. That was when you started running towards Stadium at the end.
Yeah, and the sirens are going off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, they hinted at it way back then, right? So, kind of hoping that that's maybe the case. But, yeah, in-game events are cool. I like them. Given that it's going to be 3 o'clock in the afternoon on what's the 21st? What is that? On a Wednesday, on probably a very busy week for me next week. I probably won't be able to do it. But maybe I'll watch somebody do it while I'm kind of working. We'll see.
Yeah.
But either way, hope it's a big change. If not, I don't know. I'm probably not going to care too much.
It would be the time to switch over to Apex. It would be the time because
I mean the issue with that is that Apex is only 3 people, and we generally play Warzone when there's 4 of us.
Yeah.
Right. That's the only trick. But you know what? We'll just go back to playing PUBG. It's fine. It's fine.
You know what? I had it installed with like the full intent of playing it again. And nobody else had it installed, I don't think so.
I have it installed. I've always had PUBG installed, man.
Oh.
Yeah.
I meant to reinstall it then.
There you go.
I don't know.
There you go. Say what you will about PUBG, at least it has new maps.
Yeah, they have like what, 5 or 6 maps
now?
now?
They got a bunch. Yeah.
I mean, they're different sizes and all that, but
that's cool too, though. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. They have really big ones. They have small ones. They got medium-sized ones. Whatever you want. Got the whole value menu there. Anyways, that's all I got for COD. Anything else you wanted to mention before we sign off here?
No, we pretty much said all we can say. We just won't know until it comes out.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see just how it changes because I won't be able to catch the event. I'll be at work, but I might check it at lunchtime and just like see if I can find a live stream or something just to see what happens.
And a reminder for everyone, the event is April 21st, which is next Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern or 12 p.m. Pacific, depending on where you are. So that is all we got. What are we looking forward to playing? Jim, start with you.
Absolutely. I just want to play as much Disco Elysium as I can. I want to try and beat Diablo within the next week or so.
Yeah.
But no, absolutely. Disco Elysium was like, I mean, I saw the 10 out of 10 reviews, even for like the final cut and the original version of it. I've seen 10 out of 10s like everywhere. So just the fact that like I got so like, what do you call it? I just got so like pulled in right away. I don't know if that's a sign of a good game or maybe it gets worse from here. I don't know, but I'm just excited to actually play it more.
Yeah.
Just the voice acting alone is like super impressive. So I don't know. I'm excited for those two. I'm probably going to start Evil Within, or I'm going to try to at least play a bit of it just to see if I want to keep going with it.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard trying to play like 3 games at once, admittedly. So I might just stick to PC again this week. And I mean, before next Friday, I'm going to want to play Warzone just to see what's new. So there you go. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have any particular game on my radar right now. I mean, whatever we're going to play it after this, or if we are, whatever, like, I don't know. I'm excited to just chill out and relax this weekend, whether that's Faz or COD or Fortnite or whatever the hell we end up playing.
Ooh, I'd be down for some Faz, especially now that we have professional unlocked.
Yeah, true. Very true. Whatever we end up playing, I'm excited just to hang out and chill with the boys. Excited to continue playing NHL 21. I'm excited to play MLB The Show next week. That'll be good. So, excited to try that out on Xbox for the very first time.
When does that actually come out? Is that the same day as the COD event?
Yeah, I think it's the 20th or the 21st. One of those two. So,
very nice.
Either way, excited to play that next week. Give that a try. See if the hype is real on that series. I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah.
And yeah, continue playing Halo. Halo's always a good time. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm not really excited to play anything. That sounds really bad and negative, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm just in a weird state right now. You know, it is what it is right now. I'm just excited to play games, whatever they may be. So
yeah,
that's where I'm at. Cool. All right. Well, let's sign off here. I will quickly plug our socials here. I don't have the off the cuff Harley stuff that he does, which is amazing.
Actually, wait, hold on. I can plug the socials this week. Okay, I got a sound clip.
All right.
So, and this sound clip probably summarizes this whole episode, but
is mayonnaise an instrument?
Perfect.
So, if you want to stay up to date with Follow My Tracers, which is us, subscribe to us on YouTube. Click the bell if you want to be notified when we go live. Follow us on Twitter at FMT Show, and you can also follow us on Facebook at Follow My Tracers. Tony, where can they find you?
Everyone can find me on twitch.tv/figure09. Stream a couple times a week there, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday usually. And you can follow me on Twitter at figure09tv.
I totally lied last week. I'm not prepared for this, where they can find me. But like I always say, and it's probably like the worst direction to give people. Well, I'm on Xbox at Power Grudge. I'm on Steam at Power Grudge. Epic Games Launcher, I'm on Power Grudge. I'm at Power Grudge. I'm not on
Power Grudge and everything.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
Easy.
Blizzard, my Battle.net thing's a bunch of numbers, so I'm not going to plug that. But yeah, I'm like everywhere. So I'm like the most obscure celebrity on the show. So there you go.
Oh, that's funny. All right. Well, that's been Follow My Tracers. Want to thank everyone for sticking through the audio issues. That sucked. We didn't know what was going on there. That's a first. So we'll try to see if we can get that sorted for next week. If that's a recurring thing, if that was just a one-time thing. I don't know what was going on, but appreciate everyone sticking through that. I think we worked through it relatively well, all things considered. We got it figured out. We turned off the gameplay. I don't know if that's the source, but that seemed to help. So we'll do some testing. We'll get it sorted for next week, and we'll go from there. Appreciate everyone watching this week. Everyone have a good weekend, and we'll see you next week.
Call the judge and get some fudge.
Call the judge and get some fudge.
See you guys.
Bye.